Hey everyone, it's Cody. I've decided that I'm going to start doing vape videos again. Now, I used to do a lot of vape videos with the last company that I worked for. Unfortunately, that company no longer exists in the United States. They've decided to pull everything out of the US, and they're expanding over in Europe, so that means that everybody that worked here no longer works for that company. But kind of a bright side to that, as far as me doing videos and me doing reviews on things, is I can now choose any product out there. Before, I was kind of relegated to doing products that we carried, devices that we carried, juices that we carried, so on and so forth. Now, my options are endless for what I can do. And for those of you that know me and have seen me out at certain places in Tampa, and when I'm vaping, I'm always vaping something different. I'm using something cool, flashy, gold, whatever. I have a lot of tastes and a lot of preferences for how I vape. So today, I am going to talk about something that is American-made. The first American-made product that I think I own. And the first American product that I'm definitely going to be doing a review on. We're going to be doing Purge. Purge has been around for a few years, and they're starting to get kind of mainstream. They make a lot of really awesome mech mods. They have cool teams. Almost everybody that vapes knows about this company. Now, this is a device that I had to pick up in a Facebook group. It was one of those buy, sell, trade things, and it wasn't crazy expensive for what it is, but it still comes with a pretty decent price tag. This is an 18650 edition of this device. Can you hear the dog? It's an 18650 edition of the device. Now, from what I can gather and from what I can tell, they don't make these anymore. So they have a 2700 battery version of it, and then there's a lot of different other makes and models that they do. But for this particular one, I've only been able to find them used so far. So I'm pretty excited about it, and I really want to show you guys this thing. So let's go ahead and let's get a down shot on this bad boy, and let me show you a little bit about this thing. And what we have here is the Purge box. Now, Purge always puts their devices in these really awesome hard shell boxes. They have some pretty dense foam in here that you can customize, take pieces out to make it easier to hold all your stuff in there. But love the boxes. I think it's an awesome touch. Up on top, you have the emblem Purge Mod. You have purgemods.com right there. On the back, you're going to have the signature of the guy that did the quality control check on it. What model it is, it's the King, the B is for brass, and then it's serial number 237, which I don't know if that's a low serial number or not. All I know is that I can't find these brand new anymore. I had to buy it used, which brings me to another point. There's a lot of dust, there's a lot of juice residue on this thing. This is 2 years old. All right, it's 2 years old. I've had it for about a week, and I know a lot of this dust, definitely all this juice is from me. When I got this thing from the guy, he had just polished it, he just cleaned it, it looked perfect. But I'm going to talk about what happens with brass and copper devices after I show you this. Inside, you're going to have your two tubes. You have your top tube, your stack extension, that is the body of the mod, and then you have your firing switch down here. Very nice, springy, low throw button with a copper connector. Pretty cool. The guy also sent me some little neodymium magnets. Not all batteries are going to be the same length, so some batteries you're going to put in there, you're going to have a little bit of battery rattle inside of the tube. Luckily, the batteries that I'm using, I don't have that issue with, but the magnets are definitely a nice touch because this thing is not adjustable like some other mech mods where you can adjust the throw of it and you can adjust the extension of it inside the mod. So, this top piece here, this is where your RDA is going to sit. Now up here on the top you have King, the King Purge number 237. And this is a hybrid connection. That hybrid connection means that you don't have a 510 plate. You have a 510 thread where the bottom of your RDA is going to make a direct contact with your batteries. So for reference, we're going to take a look at something else. That is a 510 connector. This is a hybrid. So just empty hole. Again, this is something that's really advanced. So direct connection to the battery with a copper switch on the bottom. You got to know what your amps are. You got to know what your resistance is, and you have to be using safe batteries, period. If you don't know anything about those things, then you need to talk to somebody in your vape shop or do some research on it. If this is too much work for you and it sounds like I'm speaking a different language, just stick with regulated devices, which there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. You can see on this now there is a little bit of discoloration already on the brass. That's just from your hands. That is going to happen with anything brass and copper. The oils and sweat and dirt and gunk and everything else, when you start fingering this thing, it's going to get dirty. And it's going to get dirty pretty quick. I've been using this for about 4-5 days, and already it's starting to look dull. When I opened this up from the guy that sent it to me, it was butter. It was beautiful, brass, shiny. I could brush my teeth in it as a mirror. It was beautiful. But there's different ways to clean these up. It's not that hard, but it's like vacuuming a rug when you have 6 dogs in your house. You're just going to get it all dirty again anyway within a couple of hours. But besides that, still love it. The machining on this is awesome. You have this badass twist into the tube itself with these ridges engraved in. These threads are perfect, and on the inside, it's going to be kind of hard to see down in there, but there's no scratches, there's no dings. The machining on these are perfect, and that's exactly what you would expect out of a, what is this, $350 mod that's American made. This isn't something that got CNC milled out in China that's just covered in scratches and machining tool marks. It is pretty nice, and you can see right here around this edge just where my fingerprints are. If it wasn't for my fingerprints, that would be like glass. So let's go ahead and put the tube together, kind of show you what you're working with here when it's all together. This cross-hatching piece goes right into the tube extension, and then your button screws right into the bottom. But before you do that, you want to put your RDA on top. The RDA that I'm running on this, because it's a 24 millimeter diameter, this is a 24 millimeter RDA, and it has a lot of airflow, which you're going to need when you're doing a very hot vape. The build that I have in here, it's a Clapton build, Canthal, ohms out to about a 0.45. So it is definitely within the safe realms. It's on the higher realm of resistances go. With something like this, you could build down to a 0.3, theoretically a 0.28, and still be pretty safe with it. The batteries that I'm running are going to be some Galisi S30s. 25 continuous discharge rate, 25 amps. They're exactly what I need for this, and they fit in there without any battery rattle. Positives are going to go towards your 510 connector on your RDA, and then this screws on there. Listen to these threads. Butter. No catching, no grinding, nothing. And then it's put together. And it looks really cool when it's all together. Your RDA sits pretty flush on there. You're not going to be able to fit anything bigger than a 24 millimeter. You might be able to get away with some 25 millimeter RDAs, but you're going to have a little bit of overhang. This sits just about perfectly flush. Let's pop this open, show you the coils that I'm working with, and I'm dripping some Jam Monster Blueberry in there because everybody loves blueberry. But give this a little pulse fire. It's instant as soon as you press it. And the throw on this button is really short, but it's just recessed enough in there to where you're not going to accidentally fire in your pocket. But then again, don't be putting these things in your pockets, period. Boom. It's not bad at all. So, give you one last little look at it, and then we're going to bring it back up. I'm going to show you some vapor production on this bad boy. Alright, so before I show you some vapor production, again, I got to tell you, my camera lady's falling down, and my dog is sneezing. Everything else is going okay though. This is naval brass. Now, naval brass, they use these in a lot of mech mods if they're not using straight copper. They do that for conductivity. You don't want voltage drop like you would get in stainless steel. But after talking to a lot of people, I don't think that that voltage drop using different materials is even that noticeable whatsoever. Purge actually has some aluminum bodies that just came out, the Fallout and then one other ones, and they're beautiful. If they're not concerned about voltage drop, you shouldn't be concerned either. What you need to be concerned with is building safely and doing this correctly, making sure that your batteries don't have any tears or dings or dents or anything in them, and making sure that you know how to build properly for these. So let's show some vapor production on this. Again, this is the Secret Squad Killing Time RDA. I've had this one for a little while. It's one of those hit and miss RDAs for me because I love the airflow and I love the flavor on it, but you have 4 different air hole slots. The 2 in the middle, perfect. The 2 on the bottom, they leak all the time, and it's 50-50 hit and miss whether or not I'm going to drip this and I'm going to be cleaning up juice. Regardless, it is the perfect RDA for me to be running on this because of that airflow. It keeps the heat down, keeps the flavor nice, and it creates awesome vapor production. So let's do this. And it's not that hot of a vape either. That's the thing. You figure you'd be running, some high voltage coils like this, or some high voltage, series, some high resistance coils, that it would be just overpowering, but it's really not. It's a very smooth hit, and it's a very fast hit. And that's what draws people to mech mods. You can use regulated mods all day. You're not going to be able to get that same ramp up of unadulterated power to your atomizer out of one of these. And I don't care what the gimmick is. They're using military grade chips in them. They're using the gene chips. They're using DNAs or Yeehees, whatever. It doesn't matter. A mech mod is always going to be superior to that, but it comes with a price. I picked this up for 185 bucks. These usually go for like 350, and especially the new ones in the 2700 editions, you're looking at 350 all the way up to $500, depending on what model you get. So it comes with a price, and it definitely comes with the knowledge that you are going to learn. You have to learn how to use these properly, but once you do, it's worth it. And that blueberry jam monster is just amazing in this. As far as the RDA goes, I will be taking this apart, doing a build in it, showing you guys what it is about this that I like and what it is about it that I hate. I still use it because I love it. I kind of like it a little bit better than my goons. Sometimes, except for when it leaks. I'll also be talking about the Elite V2 by Armageddon MFG, might even talk about the Vape Michael. I'm going to just talk about some of the things that I picked up recently. But this was the Purge King Twisted 18650, and I love it. So I'll see you guys next time.